Episode 5 is the emotional crescendo of A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. What begins as a legal formality explodes into one of the most chaotic and heartbreaking sequences in Westerosi history. And somehow the show manages to make it feel intimate. This was the episode where everything landed. The quiet callback to Dunk telling Egg not to rob him was unexpectedly adorable. It's such a small moment, but it highlights how far their relationship has come. What started as suspicion has become loyalty. The show continues to nail the emotional undercurrent between Dunk and Egg without overplaying it. Those little echoes matter. Now, the episode does pad the trial of Seven with a flashback to how Dunk first met Sir Arlen a Pennytree. Was it strictly necessary? Maybe not. The trial alone had enough weight to carry the runtime, but was it effective? Absolutely. Seeing Sir Arlen in his prime, drunk, wandering, singing, still dangerous, adds texture to Dunk's entire identity. Watching him fight was a treat. You finally understand how Dunk learned not just swordplay, but stubborn honor. And the detail of Arlen's singing in Dothraki, that's such an odd, fascinating touch. Where did he learn it? Why did it stick with him? It reinforces that Westeros is bigger than just court politics. There are lived-in histories everywhere. Also, using the same Kings Road filming location as Game of Thrones felt intentional, a quiet nod to the larger world without screaming fan service. The speech from the young girl about how nothing is ever truly forgiven was quietly devastating, to be honest. In Westeros, grudges outlived generations. We've seen it in every war, every rebellion, every broken house. Heck, look at the Brackens and Blackwoods. They don't even know what started the fighting. They just know they hate each other. That theme runs straight through this episode. The Trial of Seven isn't just about Dunk's innocence. It's about pride, reputation, blood, memory, and those things always demand payment. And the Trial of Seven was spectacularly shot. Filming it largely from Sir Duncan the Tall's perspective was genius. It wasn't a clean, heroic medieval duel. It was confusion, dirt, blood in the eyes, not knowing who's swinging at you. At what point do you even recognize friend from foe? Combatants would just appear and strike someone mid-fight. It felt raw and unpredictable, which is exactly how something like this would be. No choreography for the camera gloss, just chaos. And yes, Beesbury's death hurt. That mustache deserved much better. Dunk took far too much damage, and more damage than I expected. He did not look invincible at all. He looked very human, swollen, battered, barely standing. That vulnerability made the eventual victory matter more. But watching Maekar Targaryen was just absolutely heartbreaking. His panic, my son, my son. The blow to Baelor Breakspear's head wasn't villainy, it was desperation, a father protecting his son, a man terrified of losing control of everything. And in that moment, the tragedy became irreversible. But in the end, Dunk wins the only way he can, by being bigger. There's something very Dunk about that. He's not the most refined knight. He's not royalty. He doesn't have decades of training behind him. He just refuses to stop. Seeing him overpower Aerion Targaryen felt earned. And I will say, seeing him drag Aerion by the foot was pretty satisfying. I genuinely didn't think we'd lose Baelor this episode, but when it happened, it was flawless. The dialogue felt lifted straight from the novella. The performances were restrained and devastating, and thankfully the show spared us from an overly graphic aftermath. There was no gratuitous gore, just horror and grief. Baelor collapsing on top of Dunk was just visual poetry. It was the dragon dream come true. And when Dunk repeated the words once said to him, "Get up," while holding Baelor's lifeless body, that's the moment the episode stopped being epic and just became absolutely tragic. So yeah, episode 5 delivered spectacle, character depth, and emotional devastation in equal measure. The flashback deepened Dunk's foundation. The Trial of Seven was chaotic and immersive. Maekar's grief felt raw. Baelor's death was beautifully executed, and Dunk's quiet heartbreak anchored it all. This wasn't just a great action episode. It was a reminder that in Westeros, honor costs everything, and sometimes the good men pay the highest price.